I don't know about you, but I find it extremely irritating when I break a fish off. We work too hard as bass anglers to lose those bites, especially when we have a tough day. Maybe we haven't been bit for hours, we get a bite, and then our line breaks, okay? Well, one of the things that we often hear about with lines is our knot, right? Well, your knot, absolutely, like the title of this video says, your knot does not matter if you see this happening, and it has to do with when we cinch down our line, and this is especially prevalent with fluorocarbon. This does happen on monofilament, but I really see it happen on fluorocarbon. Friction is not a friend of line, okay? If you see this when you tie a lure on or tie a hook on, if your line is making this little like Christmas package type, curls and ribbons, that means you had way too much friction, and that weakened your line and also is going to weaken the integrity of your knot. So it is so important to wet that line, and oftentimes we don't wet it as anglers enough. Now, I'm not going to sit here and wet it on camera, and nobody wants to see a close-up of my mouth wetting the line, right? But we really need to get a good amount of saliva on that line, or wet it in the water, whatever you need to do, and then it should look like this. When you tie that lure on, tie that hook on, this is definitely better. We got a tiny little bit of curl here, but the friction did not weaken the integrity of the line and the knot on this particular setup. So if you're fishing and you see one like this, snip that thing off, snip off, however far those curls go up the line, and start over. You'll be so glad that you took the time to get this right. And this is something that is often overlooked. And hey, speaking of knots, if you want to go over the red Phillips knot, which I use from going from a main line to a leader, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.